Hi, this is Hilton Gieseneau, host of The Moss Show, a SharePoint podcast at www.themossshow.com. In this video, we're going to look at working with different types of document templates inside Windows SharePoint Services. There are a lot of different places that you can use document templates inside of SharePoint, so let's look at a few of these in this video. To start, I'm going to go here and create a new document library. Let's just give it a name of test docs because we're just going to put some test documents in here, and you'll notice that down on the bottom here I can go ahead and configure the default type of document to use as a document template in the library. And you can see SharePoint pre-configures a variety of different formats, including previous pre-2007 Microsoft Office documents, as well as the 2007 versions as well, and one or two other document types as well, like basic page and web part page. I'm going to start here with a standard Office Word document, which is, as I mentioned, a 2007 version. And so this means that once the library is created and I go here to New Documents, it will load up a Word 2007 docx file. And once I've loaded up the new document, I can go ahead and add text into it and save it to the document library as well. Let's go ahead and see if we can change the default that's created here for this particular document library. So if I go to the settings on the document library and I go down here to advanced settings, you'll see that it's using a .x or a 2007 Word template, and I can go ahead and edit that template, for example, once again logging into Microsoft Word and changing what's contained in that .x file. So I can, for example, go here into the header and make changes, and then I'd be able to save that as the new template for this particular library for Word 2007 documents. So now if we go ahead and we try and create a new document using that new template, then we'll have the header pre-populated. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go here again, File New, and once more when Microsoft Word loads up, it should have the data that we captured in the header. So you can see that we've modified the template for this particular document library for Microsoft Word documents. So that's one way that we can modify the template directly for a specific library. The other way is to use the Office SharePoint Designer tool. So I'm just going to copy the URL because we're going to log into the same site using SharePoint Designer. So let's load it up here off the Start menu, and then I can go ahead and open the particular site that we were just looking at. In fact, you can see it's saved there. I've opened it up before, so let's just connect to that, and when we go and open up the same document library from within SharePoint Designer on the left here, then you'll see that if we go into the Forms subfolder, that the template is stored inside there. You can see also it's marked that it has been modified, the little blue icon with an eye inside it. So we could modify it directly from in SharePoint Designer like this as well, which would also load Microsoft Word. However, in all of these cases, we've been working with modifying the template inside a specific document library, and we'll only be modifying that document library on the one hand, and in addition then the template can't be reused across multiple document libraries as well. So let's go ahead and see if we can rather create a central store for all of the templates in our organization. So I'm going to go here and create a new document library in the site. Let's give it a name here that reflects the fact that it's storing the templates for our company. So we're going to call it here Company Templates, and we're not going to put this one onto the quick launch because we don't want people to regularly come in and edit these templates as part of their day-to-day work. And then let's also go ahead and set that the default template is no specific document type. You'll see here on the new menu that it doesn't allow me, for example, to add a new Word doc. This is because we're not going to add documents directly in here in the form of Word docs, for example, off of the new menu. Rather, what we're going to do is we're going to upload the series of Office templates we want to use. So you can see on the C drive here that I have a .x file, a specific Word template that I want to use. Let's browse into that folder and go ahead and upload that file into the templates folder. Now what I can do, if I hover over it, you'll see that I have a specific path in the status bar that is the path directly to that file. I can go ahead and copy that and use it as the template in a library. Before we do that though, let's go ahead and give it a more friendly name. So let's say, for example, that this template is going to be a template for legal contracts. And in the name I'm going to remove the spaces just to make the URL a little bit easier to work with. You'll see again when I hover over down in the status bar there, I get the URL directly to that template. And now what we can go ahead and do is go back to our original library, once again go into the settings, and instead of pointing to a file that's part of the library itself, we can point to this template that's in a shared location as the template to use for items in this library. However, unfortunately, you see if we go ahead and try and do that we get an error. And the error states that unfortunately templates for a document library can't exist in a shared location like this. They have to exist inside of the forms folder in the library itself. So unfortunately we can't get too excited just yet with our clever idea of creating a shared repository of templates, at least not in this way. In the rest of this video we'll look at how we can go ahead and do that in a number of different ways to use rather a shared template repository rather than having to create it document library by document library and document type by document type inside of those libraries. So let's go and do that and see if we can rather use a shared approach. So I'm going to go back to the main site, and this time before we go and create anything new, let's load up the SharePoint 12 Hive folder, the main location on the hard drive that all of the SharePoint root files are located. So you can see the full URL up in the title bar here. It's on Program Files, Common Files, Microsoft Shared, Web Server Extensions, and then 12, which is the main SharePoint location. Inside of Template, you'll see that we have a subfolder here for Site Templates, which are the definitions for the different type .xml file. Then what we can do is look at the definition for how it's bringing up some of its document types. So when we look inside onet.xml, which is the definition for the actual site itself, we'll see here that there's a section called Document Templates, and these define the types of templates that we can use when we are creating a new document library. So recall at the beginning of the video when we created the library, we could choose, for example, from Word 2003 document or a Word 2007 document or Excel templates that were there as an example. So let's go ahead and modify this file, see if we can change those templates. Before we do, I'm just going to make a copy as a backup so that we can roll back quite easily later on. And then let's go ahead and modify the definition for one of the file types. So if we see here the definition for Word doc, the actual naming for the Word doc is coming out of a resource file. That's why it's got that strange syntax $resources. I'm just going to hard code the display name using an English text here, saying that it's a Word template for my company, and I'll leave some of the other things as defaults just to save some time. And you'll see here also that it's looking for a particular .x file to use as the template to copy over into the document library. So instead of the standard template .docx, I'm going to give it a new name, which is the file name that will be used when it's created in the library. That's the target name though, as you can see, so that's what the ultimate file name will be. The source document comes from a folder here listed under the name attribute, which comes from doctemp/word and then the template name. Let's go ahead and locate that folder inside of SharePoint. You'll see it falls under the current culture 1033, which is US English. Under there, STS, we see the doctemp folder. Then you can see all of the templates, for example, for OneNote, PowerPoint, and all of the various file types. And if we go into the Word folder, you'll see here appearing the different Word templates that we can use. The reason there are a few of these is because if we go back and look at the onet.xml file, you'll see that there are a few different templates that refer to this Word folder. So let's go ahead and copy one of the templates that we'd created previously and place it into this file and see if we can have it come up. So again, this is a template that I've created a while ago that I now want to use for all Word 2007 documents inside the entire site collection, anywhere that this site template is used.